Well, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi has already started working in his third term, now we are learning that India is all set to rename 30 locations in Tibet, and that is being seen as a tit for tat tactics, because in the last few years we have seen multiple times and occasions when Chinese side have named places in Arunachal Pradesh, in Sikkim, and other bordering areas falling in the sovereign territory of India as part of their own languages, and in Mandarin they have renamed those locations, and these locations are mountains, smaller rivers, rivulets, some residential complexes, some villages which have been named by the Chinese side, though India has in the past always raised the issue. They have lodged protest and said that merely renaming the geographical locations would not change the realities of current time, and that means that sovereign territory of India will remain part of it no matter whosoever names whatsoever they wish to it. Now, beyond that, giving a different take to the entire crisis or entire coercion tactics that Chinese side have been trying to play around with the Indian sovereign territory. Now we are learning that Indian Army has already prepared about 30 locations which are now going to be renamed, and these locations included several smaller mountains and residential complexes that Chinese side is having. And Indian government has been upset because the way Chinese have been trying to do this nomenclature thing in the past, about in the last 6 or 7 years, we have seen multiple occasions where Chinese foreign ministries, they have been trying to do this. Now the latest incidents with which India will have the renaming of these locations will include 11 residential areas, 12 mountains, 4 rivers, 1 lake, one mountain pass, and one piece of land that will be renamed by the Indian side, and they were given Chinese characters, Tibetan and Pinyin, and the Roman alphabet version of Mandarin Chinese. Now Beijing has released the first list of its so-called standardized location and renaming way back in 2017, and that was followed by a second list which had 15 names, locations renamed, and then 11 locations were renamed in 2023. Now the fourth list contains almost as many new places names as the previous three combined. So now we see this entire coercion tactics that China has played not only with India, but they have been trying to intimidate and show aggressive posture in South China Sea. We have seen multiple occasions where the confrontation with the Philippines Coast Guard have been with the Chinese Coast Guard and their flotillas. Then there is island in Japan, Senkaku, which has a sovereignty dispute between China and Japan. Taiwan Strait crisis, we all have seen multiple times military exercises almost on a daily basis. Chinese warplanes and naval assets are crossing the demilitarized zone that is in a way aggressive nature and ingressing towards Taiwanese side. The economic might that China has created in the last 2 decades at least, they are now trying to translate it in their strategic advantages, and that is happening in the Indo-Pacific region, that is happening in the land boundary region, especially with the Indian side, that is around Arunachal Pradesh or the eastern Ladakh sector. We have already seen what happened in Galwan, and since then India and China relationship has not been able to recover to an extent where we can call it normal. Even today, when External Affairs Minister S. Shankar was taking charge of office, talking about China, he said, and unless and until peace returns to the bordering areas, there cannot be a normalcy that one can expect in India-China bilateral ties. So we'll have to see from here onwards, just naming or just posturing by the two sides will do any benefit to the bilateral side, or will they sit together and try to negotiate and reach out to a mutually agreed conclusion to the all pending issues that they have had in the past.